So what can the good guys do to train this, like ceremonies or something along those lines?
Well, it's ceremonies, prayers. It's all intention. What can the good guys do? It is my hope that prayer has its power and its effect. That ceremony has its power and effect on these ley lines. But when you have human life being sacrificed and that blood falling, it's you have to stop that. You know, ley lines stop when wars come. That there's a break in a ley line that happens when you know, some Dowser friends went into Kosovo along this particular ley line, and as soon as they hit the war zone, the ley line stopped. They got on the other side of the war zone, and the ley line continued up again. So it kind of like goes over. The earth doesn't want to be part of it. So if we can go in there and you know, into a war zone and bring some kind of love making, you know, into a war zone, that would attract the love of the planet, attract the ley lines. There was a ceremony that was done out in around the Yellowstone medicine wheel back in 2004, where there was a group drumming, 800-mile wide ring of drummers, Native American drummers and singers that covered all of the North American West, or much of it. And the thought was that the volcano was going to erupt because the ley lines had all been severed. So the idea was to create a ring, a giant ring around this volcano, that if it went up, it would destroy the planet, you know. and indeed, you know, that there was this upwelling of the caldera in the Lake Yellowstone that was killing off animals, killing trees. It was the temperatures were elevating. So we did this ceremony, and the next day, the caldera subsided, and the gases stopped, and the heat went down. You know, so if you connect all these ley lines through ceremony, through a large scale, you know, like if you were to try to go into a war zone and do a little ceremony in the middle of you know, bullets flying, it wouldn't happen. You know, like there's just too much energy around it. So what you need to do is trump it with a larger form, a larger ring. So that's really what these tools are really helpful for, is to create an energy of balance and peace, and surround that dysfunction, that cancer, with a healing ray of light, if you will. So you're bringing, you know, you're connecting these ley lines back together again, and bringing the earth into wholeness again. So it's very effective. You know, it was used to bring rain in one instance, and you know, we do this as a practice here in New England, where we take these drives on the equinoxes, take a 12-hour drive around the center of North America. It's we call them rolling peace prayers, and we have these 12 sites that we go to, and so we every hour we're at a different site. So in a 12-hour cycle, we start at sunrise at one place and end back there at sunset at that same place, and do prayer. So it's a day of prayers and remembrance of the different qualities. You know, for instance, you know, in this ring that we do, there's it's Joseph Smith or Brigham Young's birthplace, and a nuclear power plant, and a art center, and a New Age community, and you know, so each one of these places, you know, the Hoosic Tunnel, and each one of these places has a different quality that speaks to our culture. So when you bring into holism, bring into a circular pattern, you're speaking to planet, because the planet is circular. You're creating a vortex, a portal, whereby you're communicating with planet body and saying, you know, we love you, and we honor our our contribution, our leaders, and we pray for their illumination and good thoughts and good action.